the globe to bring you the constant variety of sport, the thrill of victory, and the agony of defeat. This is ABC's Wide World of Sports.
Hi, this is Bela Karoli. I coach several world and Olympic champions in my life. But stay tuned, because one of my new stars might be born right here at Visa Gymnastics Challenge.
The U.S. women are ranked second in the world. Today, they'll try to solidify themselves as an international power. But there's more to this story. It's a tale of two Dominiques.
Hi, I'm Dominique Daws.
Daws swept through the 1994 U.S. National Championship and is America's best hope for gold in '96.
I really just have to stay focused at what I'm doing, and I want to keep improving and keep competing. Hi, I'm Dominique Moceanu.
Moceanu is the future of U.S. women's gymnastics. The reigning junior national champion has been compared to past Olympic champions.
I would compare her with the most with Marilu. Marilu had that unique personality.
Can Dominique capture that unique magic?
Hi, I'm Svetlana Boginskaya.
Three-time Olympic champion Svetlana Boginskaya will represent her native country of Belarus for the first time. Will she spoil the American efforts? The stars will be out in the Visa Gymnastics Challenge.
The dogwood blossoms are in full bloom just a short hop from the nation's capital, where today we're at the Patriot Center on the George Mason University campus in Fairfax, Virginia, site of the Visa Gymnastics Challenge, where today the women will be competing on the Olympic apparatus. For the judges and the crowd. Over in the vaulting area, Katie Teft, an often overlooked representative on the U.S. national team, is getting ready for her first of two attempts. I say often overlooked because it's easy to be falling in the shadow of Dominique Daws, Shannon Miller, and the like.
This is a round-off entry vault, and she went for the layout. Good for her. She trained both, a 1.5 twist in a tucked position and in the layout, and she went for it all. Great vault. By going for the layout vault, she probably gained 1/10 of a point because it's worth a 10.0, and she only got a slight deduction because she had to bend her knees slightly throughout the vault.
This is a three-way meet which includes some of the top powers in international gymnastics. The teams have come from the Republic of Belarus, People's Republic of China, and the United States. To make today a little bit more special, we thought we'd allow the athletes to introduce themselves to you.
Здравствуйте, меня зовут Светлана Богинская, and I want to introduce my teammates from Belarus. Julia Sapko.
Привет.
Inna Poklonskaya.
Привет.
Julia Yurkina.
Привет.
And her twin sister, Olga Yurkina.
Привет.
Hi.
Hi.
我叫刘璇，是中国体操队的。
嗨，我叫孟飞。嗨，我叫毕文静。嗨，我叫桑兰。
怎么都跟他一样的？
Hello, I'm Dominique Daws. I'm 18 years old, and I'm from Silver Spring, Maryland. I'd like you to meet the rest of the USA Gymnastics team. Hi, I'm Dominique Moceanu, and I'm 13 years old, and I train in Houston, Texas.
Hi, I'm Kelly Davis. I'm 16 years old. I'm originally from Queens, New York, but I train in Pompano Beach, Florida.
Hi, I'm Katie Teft. I'm 13 years old, and I live in Grand Rapids, but train in Lansing.
And those young ladies with personality will be competing on all the Olympic apparatus, beginning with the vault, uneven bars, the balance beam, and the floor exercise, for titles in each individual event, the all-around, as well as the team competition. Here's Katie Teft getting ready now for her second and final attempt over in the vaulting pit.
Kathy, I'm really impressed with this young lady. She really does go for it, doesn't she?
We spoke to her coach, John Geddert, and he wasn't sure whether they should play it safe and go with the tuck since they averaged the score both vaults. She went for layout both times. It's a risky but an important move for her to make in this international competition because she's got to get ready if she wants to try and make that Olympic team.
You're right, Kathy. What I like about her style is her aggressiveness. She could have gone for the easier vault. She's trying her best to keep her body straight here. She has to bend her knees a little bit, but the attitude is right. That's the kind of gymnast who will be a champion in the future.
American Katie Teff's second vault earned a 9.5, slightly lower than her first vault, for an average of 9.55. Kelly Davis is America's first competitor on the uneven parallel bars. A Pacific Alliance team champion as well as the all-around champion.
You'll notice right off the bat, she's a very strong and powerful gymnast. Needs a little bit of work on finesse and really pointing the toes and locking the legs out on every skill. Look at the amount of swing she generates. Nice full over the top. Big dismount. Many of the gymnasts here are performing the double layout. It's just a solid routine.
This is probably the best part of the routine where she earns some bonus points. She goes to the handstand here and then over the top with what we call the wrong way grip and then a straddle back to almost a handstand on the low bar.
And Kelly Davis earns a 9.475 on the bars.
ABC's Wide World of Sports, brought to you by Visa. It's everywhere you want to be. Split Fire, the patented performance spark plug. It only costs more until you use it. Budget, for great rates on great cars, whether it's business or pleasure, the smart money is on budget. And McDonald's, have you had your break today?
Welcome back, everybody, to the Patriot Center in Fairfax, Virginia. I'm John Neighbor, and we're looking forward to some great gymnastics competition. We have three teams here representing some of the top powers in the sport of gymnastics, and we're looking forward to some great performances by these 1996 Olympic hopefuls. If we're lucky, we might also be treated to a few surprises as well. For more on that, here's my broadcast associate and Olympic medal winner herself, Kathy Johnson.
Since 1979, the Chinese gymnasts have consistently been the innovators and trendsetters for two of the four women's events, the balance beam and the uneven bars. We'll certainly see some spectacular gymnastics here. In fact, we should see something on the uneven bars we have never seen before in women's competition. Now, without tipping our hand, I will tell you this. It's a quantum leap for women's gymnastics. However, there's a little bit of controversy surrounding the introduction of this skill, but we'll talk about that more during the show. Should be a tight competition, so for more on which individuals to look for, let's go to Bart Connor.
The Americans today will be led by what we're calling the Dominique Duo. They are, of course, 18-year-old world and Olympic medalist Dominique Daws and 13-year-old sensation Dominique Moceanu, who is Bela Karolyi's latest superstar from Houston, Texas. Another young lady to watch for today is 22 years old, not all that young by gymnastic standards. She, of course, is Svetlana Boginskaya, former world and Olympic champion. She's hoping to make the 1996 Olympics. She trains in Houston, Texas, but today she'll be representing her home country of Belarus.
Liu Xuan, a 16-year-old out of the Hunan area in China, is over at the uneven bars.
First of all, I must say the entire routine is spectacular, but we're going to highlight one very, very special part. This is an historic moment, first time ever done before in women's gymnastics. Comes up right here, one-arm giant, right into a one-arm ginger. We've actually seen her do it even better than that, but it's the first time for her in competition.
Boy, that was spectacular. The men have done that for many years, but I believe she... Oh, no!
Oh, what a shame. I really wanted everyone to see really what she's capable of on this event. She's gone through so many full routines and workout and done them perfectly. There's no way she can't be deflated, because now I'll tell you about the controversy. She introduced this skill here. It had to be rated by the judges in order for her to compete it here, and it was valued at an incredibly low value. We don't know why. There are many people that disagree with this. I am one of them. But they have decided they didn't want to encourage this skill. I think it's going to be an ongoing debate. Look at the height of that final release move, and she's got a big dismount, a double layout.
The Chinese have always set the standard for what direction this sport is going. They've said it again here with that routine. It's just a shame that the judges are not giving her the value that she deserves for that move.
The reason we are so amazed at this skill is it's so much harder for women because the bar is bigger around, harder to get a grip on, and she has to miss that low bar and really change the technique. I think all the men are really impressed. And unfortunately, she just underestimated this skill. Normally, she's way up high and able to grab that high bar.
Liu Xuan on the uneven bars with a fall gets a 9.225. The smallest member of this U.S. team is Dominique Moceanu. She also happens to be one of the more effervescent members. Kathy Johnson tells us more about this radiant youngster.
Webster's dictionary defines gymnastics as bodybuilding exercises, especially those performed with special apparatus in a gymnasium. But for some gymnasts, gymnastics means more. It is a sense of self-awareness and self-motivation. Despite being 4'5" and 66 pounds, Dominique Moceanu has towered over most of her junior competition since age 10. She is capturing the interest of the gymnastics world with her bubbly personality and infectious smile.
Dominique has the natural way how to act, the natural way how to express herself. She can bluff and try and jump and lay down in 3 times in 20 minutes.
I hope to be one of the Mary Lou's, jumpy person. I think it's great to be somebody like that. I mean, you always attract somebody when you smile, and you always catch somebody's attention.
Dominique has attracted the attention of many in the gymnastics world. The first of 2 daughters from an athletic family, Dominique started gymnastics at the age of 3. Her natural personality and talent helped her excel at state-level competitions as well as the junior international scene, winning several medals abroad. Dominique's passion to win has landed her on the threshold of success. Outside of gymnastics, she enjoys spending quality time with friends and having fun. But as her talents improved in gymnastics, Dimitri and Camelia Moceanu wanted better coaching and facilities for their daughter. So they moved their family to Houston, where longtime friend Bella Caroli would coach Dominique.
I promised myself my first child will be a gymnast, and I'll make all the sacrifices she'll need to be a good gymnast.
All this hard work in gymnastics will pay off. I push really hard now, and then all the rest of the years I'll be free and I can do whatever I want.
She is a self-motivated person. She wants to be a little star, no doubt about it. She wants to be the best she can be.
By the age of 12, Dominique's hard work had paid off. She became the youngest junior national champion in the history of the sport.
I am ambitious and I want to work hard and go to the Olympics and win the gold. It's my ultimate hard-working goal, and I think that's what I'm striving for right now.
She may be small, but she's certainly heading in the right direction. Up.
This routine is packed full of difficulty. It's very, very exciting. But as she said herself, she wants to make that Olympic team and wants to win the gold medal. Only thing she needs to do is try and really clean up her form on this event, because she's got everything else. Watch as she swings. She kind of loses the leg form just a little bit. The knees slightly bend, the toes come unpointed.
I didn't think she was going to make that transition. It's a long way for her.
Moceanu, 4 feet 5 inches tall.
She has one of the best double layouts in the competition.
We could hear Bella Caroli sending signals throughout the routine.
It's really exciting to see her do gymnastics. She really does put a lot of personality into everything. You can see the talent. And as I said, if she can work for perfection and really tighten up the form, she'll be right in there.
Moceanu's marks on the uneven bars, the high so far, a 9.65. When most athletes remove all obligations and distractions from their calendars for a full year before the Olympics, Dominique Daws has decided to take some classes at a local university. We asked her why.
I guess I've decided to go to school because last year it was just pretty much only gymnastics that I was concentrating on, and it kind of got hard to have fun at what I was doing because it was only gymnastics. So with school, I think it'll get my mind working in different things, so it'll help me out a lot.
Well, this high school honor student is certainly not waiting for the world to come to her. She's getting ready now for her first of 2 vaults.
Dominique Daws. Dominique has decided to do a different vault. It's a handspring front pike. It has a lesser value than a vault she's capable of. It's a handspring front pike. She does it beautifully. Of course, there was the big step on that landing. Though Dominique does this vault very technically well. Watch the height, perfect rotation. She actually holds onto the pike a little too long, and that makes her over-rotate.
Closing out our first rotation, Dominique Daws' second vault. She earned a 9.55 on the first one.
Just not as sharp as Dominique usually is, particularly on this event. She's capable of a more difficult vault that's worth a 10. This one's only worth a 9.8. I do know she's coming off an injury, and I don't think she's quite back yet on vault and on floor exercise.
And Dominique Daws' second vault, a 9.525 for an overall average of 9.537. Svetlana Boginskaya getting ready now at the uneven bars. Her first major full-blown international competition in 2.5 years.
And she really does look great. Her form is impeccable. Toe point, legs are always straight. She's actually improved the difficulty in this routine. This is a more difficult routine than she did at the Olympics.
She struggled in practice. Let's see if she can make it.
Also coaching Boginskaya, Bella Caroli, out in Houston.
Here's a big move for her, a nice combination, full pirouette into a release move. Now here's where she's going to need a little bit of luck if she throws a full twisting double back. She does it!
She made it! I can't believe it.
You said it yourself, Art. She struggled, and we knew she was going to need a little luck to throw that dismount. She makes her luck. Let me tell you, she works so incredibly hard.
This is a very important part of her routine. She's going to do a 1.5 twist up here close to the handstand and then transition to the low bar and hopefully hit the handstand again.
And Bart, she's using hand guards for the first time in her career, and I really think it's given her a better grip so she can hold on tighter and add some difficulty to this routine, like a full twisting double back. She was thrilled with this.
And on the bars, Svetlana Boginskaya earns a 9.5. At the completion of the first rotation, the United States leads the team battle by 0.4 of a point. Belarus just a fraction ahead of the People's Republic of China. Here's Kelly Davis, a 16-year-old out of Cambria Heights, New York. This is her first of 2 vault attempts.
Please welcome Kelly Davis. And I believe you will be astounded at her power on this event. She has great speed on the run, and she really knows how to then direct that speed into the horse and up into this piked position on the afterfoot. Look at that. Wow. That is the highest vault I believe we'll see of the night.
Here's Bi Wenjing, 13 years of age, 4 feet 7 inches tall, a vaulting champion at the Junior Nationals in 1994. She's on the bars.
She has 2 really nice elements in this routine. The first one coming up right here. She pirouettes, goes into front giants to a very high piked front somersault. Her transitions are a little bit weak. She could have taken that up to handstand, and see how her swing kind of stops right there. That's being picky because look at this. Inverted giants. Now watch right here how she hops her grip. Ends with the double layout. We've seen better double layouts. It's a little bit low, but overall, pretty steady routine.
This release move is very big. She's going to do a half turn here and a front somersault. Watch how high she goes above the bar.
And no one does inverted giants better than the Chinese. Watch this. Look at that unusual grip. She stays completely straight, and at the end of the second one, she hops and changes her grip.
Bi Wenjing earns a 9.625 on the bars. Kelly Davis earned a 9.575 on her first vault attempt. Here comes her second and final try.
It's not enough to have outright speed. She has to be able to translate that speed into height and distance and rotation, and she does it all.
Wow.
Handspring front pike. It's only worth a 9.8 because of the level of difficulty, but she does it so extremely well and still score very well. If it's possible, I think she actually got even more height and distance on this vault. It is so explosive, even in slow motion. Just that one step on the landing.
And Kelly Davis' second vault, same score as her first, a 9.575. The Fairfax Courthouse was built on this site in the year 1800. It's been in continuous use since that time, except for when the Union troops occupied it during the Civil War.
You're watching ABC's Wide World of Sports.
National champion.
Dominique might be a little bit nervous right now. In the warm-ups, she missed her hands on the vault, and then the next vault she landed short. So I'm sure she's really focused in on the proper technique. First of all, getting her hands right on top of the horse.
She normally does this very well. Nice technique.
There's what she's capable of.
What a landing.
Beautiful vault. One of the most difficult vaults being done today. And particularly in this competition, because we've seen a lot of weaker vaults in terms of the level of difficulty. This is worth a 10.0.
And look at that smile.
This is one of the cleanest landings I've ever seen on this vault. It's the Yurchenko style with 1.5 twists, and watch, she nails it like a dart going into a dartboard.
And there's a very happy girl. She gets a 9.75. Wait a minute. Coach Caroli comes running over. They're deducting 0.3 of a point off that first vault score.
John, I know exactly what the problem is. Unfortunately, the wrong vault number was flashed at the end of the runway, so the judges were expecting a different vault. That is an immediate 0.3 of a point deduction.
So her mark drops to a 9.45. She's going to try to do the vault a second time.
Now, whose fault is that? I guess it doesn't really matter. It's the responsibility of the gymnast and the coach to make sure that the right number is flashed.
It's a very silly mistake. I've even seen someone lose a World Cup medal because of it. Another great vault, though.
Certainly didn't faze her, did it? That's just too bad.
That vault should score around the 9.75 that she scored on the first one, which will upper average.
It's really a shame that she lost 0.3 of a point for posting the wrong vault number, but it certainly didn't faze her style here. Two of the best vaults of the day. Unfortunately, she won't win because of that silly deduction.
And Bart, that second vault earns a 9.75, and with the deduction on the first vault, a 9.6 average, and that puts her in second place behind China's Liu Xuan. Here's Meng Fei on the uneven bars.
And we made such a big deal out of the one-arm giant that I really don't want this gymnast skill overshadowed. She does a combination we've never seen before. And it comes up right here. Watch how she pirouettes in inverted giants. Now watch this skill. Out of inverts, a Gaylord front.
It's amazing. We've watched her do it the last 2 days in practice. She never misses it. It's the hardest thing ever been done on bars.
The only complaint I have about this routine, and it's being picky, is her transitions. When she drops from those skills in and out, she almost comes to a dead stop. But as I said, that's being picky. The rest is absolutely beautiful.
The high score on this event so far, Dominique Moceanu's 9.65. This routine should certainly approach that. In the mark, 9.5.
Oh, John, that is ridiculous. And I see why they didn't give her her bonus points. The start value of that routine was 9.8, which means they took a severe deduction for the lack of swing there. And that just is ridiculous. They shouldn't have done that.
Now it's time for the tall woman of gymnastics, Svetlana Buginskaya, to make her first of 2 attempts in the vault.
And she has to feel great going into this event. She hit her uneven bar routine, which was probably the one she was sweating out. And she did it remarkably well. She's also performing a vault that's worth a 10.0 in the code of points.
Interestingly enough, the gymnast careers are so short these days. 7 years ago, she won the Olympics on this event. That's amazing when a young gymnast these days is at the top for only 1.5 years or 2 at the most.
I would classify her as an amazing athlete. She's wonderfully poised in competition, very elegant. She really draws your attention. even if I were to nitpick on this vault, everything is almost picture perfect. Only a very slight deduction right there for a tiny hop.
And we are now ready for the second vault from Miss Boginskaya.
Boginskaya earned a 9.75 on her first attempt. Here's her next one.
Very few gymnasts can take a near perfect vault on the first one and improve on it. She can and does.
Captivating.
The most difficult part of this vault is to keep the body straight in a laid out position after they're off the horse. She does a half turn and a laid out front somersault and a great landing.
And Boginskaya's second mark's better than her first, a 9.775 for an overall average that takes the lead, 9.762. At the uneven parallel bars, a remarkable athlete. Dominique Daws earned 5 gold medals at the recent 1994 U.S. National Championships. That's a gold on every apparatus and the all-around.
I haven't seen Dominique go through a complete bar set here, but I have seen her new skill, which comes up right here. It's a big release move out of a clear hip. This is my favorite part coming up, a 1.5 twist. Right up on top of the bar. Oh, she had to check it just a little bit.
Good cover though. Didn't really mess up the rhythm of the routine. She's very experienced.
Beautiful dismount. Watch where the full twist occurs on the second somersault.
Great exercise. This is a huge release move. She debuted it at the World Gymnastics Championships in November back in Dortmund. Look at the height. A little closer than normal, but boy, that thing really flies.
And Dominique Daws is awesome once again. The judges mark 9.8. That gives her the best score on bars here in Fairfax. At the conclusion of the second rotation, our winners have been determined in the vault and uneven bars. Boginskaya wins the vault over Schwan and Moceanu. Dominique Daws wins the uneven bars. In the all-around contest, Dominique Daws is leading Svetlana Boginskaya by a little halfway through this competition. And in the team championship, well, the United States is enjoying a comfortable 0.7 of a point lead. We're going to take a short break from Fairfax, Virginia. When we return with more gymnastics, the women will be on the balance beam and the floor exercise. Stay with us. With 2 rotations completed, 2 more remain. The competition now moves to the balance beam and floor exercise. Welcome back, everyone. John Neighbor here, along with Bart Connor and Kathy Johnson. We're at the Patriot Center in Fairfax, Virginia for the Visa Gymnastics Challenge. Dominique Moceanu just mounts the beam to start off the 3rd rotation.
What I find most impressive about this youngster is the fact that she is so competitive. She stuck every single landing so far in the competition. This is her most difficult pass, 3 layout step-outs in a row. Just a little check on the landing. I have a feeling that's nerves coming out. That's a better landing. You'll notice the gymnasts are much more successful on their landings when they're aggressive and go after them. Oh, I like that skill. Very risky.
Are you surprised that someone at just 13 years old can be so assertive with her style?
Not after getting to know her personality, even just in talking to her. Watch how powerful she is. She finishes the double back above the level of the balance beam and really comes in for a rock-solid landing.
Because Dominique Daws has been unable to properly train for the floor exercise while she nurses her injured foot, she's dropped out of the floor exercise competition, but she still will be competing in the beam. That does drop her out of the all-around, though. Here's Bi Wenjing from China. She finished third in the uneven bars. Now she's at the beam.
And during the workouts, I could not take my eyes off these Chinese gymnasts on this event. Their choreography is superb, both with the dance and acrobatic elements. Here's a very difficult pass. Round off, layout.
Boy, did she nail that.
In my opinion, they're the best balance beam workers in the world. For skills like this, they don't just do what's required. They go above and beyond.
On the beam, Dominique Moceanu earned a 9.675.
She's having a little bit of trouble with that in the workouts as well. There's her gymnastics acrobatic series, the dance element right into the back handspring. Oh, that's a shame. She fell on a very difficult jump, taking her eyes off the balance beam. It's always risky, but you typically do it so well. There's an interesting dismount. Front handspring to a front with a 1.5 twist.
During a trip to Washington, D.C. yesterday, members of the People's Republic of China delegation took the opportunity to pose in front of the nation's Capitol building. Smiles all around.
Please welcome Svetlana
Here at the floor
Boginskaya.
exercise, Svetlana Boginskaya, currently ranked number 2 in the all-around, needs a 9.57 to take the lead. And remember, Dominique Daws pulled out of the floor exercise event, dropping her out of the all-around contest.
What's most amazing about Svetlana and her comeback is that she's actually increased her difficulty in some areas, including this opening tumbling pass. Watch this. Arabian double front. Oh. She stuck that beautifully not 3 minutes ago in the final warm-up.
China's Bi Wenjing's mark on the balance beam was a 9.075.
She goes for it. This is a difficult pass for her. 2.5 twist. She's working a punch run out of that. She still has a flair for the dramatic, though. Beautiful exercise. Unfortunate fall on the first tumbling run. I still think she's going to be pleased. She's got to get used to competition again, and it's a very different thing from workout to being under pressure.
It's a very difficult move to land because she's flipping forward. And she did rush the takeoff a little bit, trying to pull it around, opened up slightly early. That's a major deduction.
Boginskaya's fall on the floor dropped her mark to a 9.1. Next up on beam is China's Meng Fei, the youngster who did that release move on the uneven bars. Bart, it seems like the Chinese gymnasts have been underscored here.
It really does, and I think it's a travesty what the judges have done to these terrific Chinese gymnasts here. They came here to introduce some completely new moves, but because the judges underscored them, it's as if they're trying to limit their creativity. I just don't get it. Remember 20 years ago, the judges tried to limit Olga Korbut's acrobatics? Well, it didn't work then, and it won't work now.
And I completely agree with you, Bart. And this is a perfect example. The Chinese in this competition are so creative, both on the balance beam and the uneven bars. They continue to do more than is expected of them. Like this front with a half. There are much easier skills they could do to get the exact same number of bonus points. Yet they're not content with that. And they're artists as well.
Their style really is to take the sport to another level. Add a new dimension, a new element, something people have never seen before.
Beautiful mixed series, gymnastics, acrobatic elements combined.
Even though you said she was underscored in the earlier apparatus, a 9.85 out of her here will allow her to take the lead in the all-around.
She's a little weak on her dismount. Requires a little bit more power. Let's see how she does it here. 2 back handsprings. Much better than in the workouts. This is a highly difficult skill, which is why we've only seen a handful of gymnasts ever even attempt it, much less do it this well.
On beam, Meng Fei earns a 9.65. Our standings after 3 rotations show that the United States, with Dominique Daws taking a 0 in floor exercise, drops well back, while China trails Belarus by just under 0.4 of a point. With Dominique Daws dropping out of the all-around contest, Svetlana Boginskaya gets a chance. Here on the beam, her 4th apparatus.
And oddly enough, even though she hasn't competed in a serious competition in 2.5 years, had decided to retire and then come back, she's probably most comfortable on the balance beam. For a number of years, I believe she held the unofficial title of Queen of the Beam. Well deserved.
You really can see the difference in her maturity and poise compared to some of the 13-year-olds here. She doesn't rush, very controlled.
With Daws dropping out of the floor exercise, it'll be interesting to see how she does in the beam in comparison to Svetlana.
Watch this, a double turn. Very difficult, she got nervous. Halfway through. That's just because she hasn't been in competition for a while. Nice double back. And the veteran that she is, she fights for every single landing. She doesn't want to give up 1/10 of a point.
In the team battle going on here, all the pressure is being put on the likes of this 13-year-old, Katie Teft. Every American score on floor X must count.
If I had to pick the gymnast with the best variety of difficulty, I'd have to say Katie. With an opening pass like that, she's off to a great start. Watch that double turn in the air.
Over on the beam, Boginskaya earned a 9.725.
She shows very different skills of difficulty, both in dance and in tumbling. It's great to see. And remember, we've already seen her do a double back with a full twist, out of whipbacks. Now she's going to tumble forward with a double twist.
Kathy, for the last 10 years, most of the top gymnasts in the U.S. have come from Steve Nuno's program and Bella Caroli's program. That's why their styles all look the same. It's nice to see somebody coming from somewhere else, a fresh face and a fresh style.
I'll let you guess what she's going to finish with. Oh. Triple twist. Oh! I can't believe it almost over-rotated. Oh. Just a small mistake right at the end, but I have to say she did double turn on single foot in the air. During a flip, she did it all. She really has a complete bag of tricks, and she pulls this one out. It's phenomenal. Front with a double twist. You rarely ever see that.
And Katie Teff's floor routine earns a 9.675. That gives her the lead for the time being in the all-around.
You're watching ABC's Wide World of Sports.
A big response from the crowd as Dominique Daws is introduced, though she chose not to participate in the floor exercise. One of the great headliners here at this competition.
She has been incredibly consistent on this event for a number of years, including at Olympic and World Championship competition, always throwing a high level of difficulty. 4 elements in this pass, 3 layout step outs. She's also added a double turn. Very risky.
A little more than a year ago, many people thought she was going to retire from elite competition and take a college scholarship and go to Stanford. Well, she's put that off. She's going to train for the '96 Olympics and hopefully attend Stanford University after she finishes the games.
This is one of the most difficult tumbling sequences into a dismount that we've seen. She's done it very well over the years. Oh, she left out the full twist. The most important reason is to protect that foot that's coming off a stress fracture, and she doesn't need it. She's got plenty of difficulty everywhere else.
She's so popular here, not just because she's from just down the road in Silver Spring, but she's really one of the most popular American gymnasts on the scene. The kids just love to scream for Dominique.
It's so easy to appreciate the more dangerous looking combinations. This is a very difficult leap series, equally as hard.
The score for Daws on the beam, a 9.75, and that passes Boginskaya. Over on the floor exercise area, Meng Fei from China getting ready. The Chinese being so innovative throughout the competition. The high score in this event right now, Katie Teff, who's also our all-around leader at 9.675.
She has a nice triple twist. If she can hit it here. Notice how clean every single movement is. It's their attention to detail that's so remarkable. They make everything picture perfect. Look at the positions in the air. The judges are going to love that leap sequence. shot in the arm for Chinese. They needed a strong performance right now.
Better than a 9.4 will put her in the lead in the all-around.
The Chinese have really had a lot of trouble in this rotation, so it'll be difficult for her to make up for that with this routine. But look at these leaps. How beautiful in the air.
And the score for Meng Fei on the floor, 9.7, taking the lead from American Katie Teft.
Please welcome Dominique Moceanu.
And here's a big smile by Dominique Moceanu. She has impressed the crowds here today. Her final event, the floor exercise, on a 9.7 or better, will give her a gold medal in this event.
It's almost like somebody turns a switch on her. She just turns on. That is very possible. That is difficult. We've seen many of the gymnasts do front tucks out of the front full twist, but never a layout.
This performance could win the team title as well.
Big finish.
I saw Bella Caroli rub his own head there.
You know, Bella is a funny guy. He likes to keep control of his gymnast. He's got his hands full with this young lady. She has all the personality and the style that a real champion needs to have, and I don't know if he can quite control her the way he wants to. She's got her own mind and her own personality, and it's going to come out. She did say she wanted to be just like Mary Lou Retton, all jumpy and everything. Well, here's a good example of how springy she is. This combination is great, but watch this at the end. Boing.
And the judges' marks on floor for Dominique Moceanu, 9.775. That does it. That's good enough to win the floor exercise event, and that gives her more than enough points to win the all-around competition. A great routine from the 13-year-old. And that concludes the Visa Gymnastics Challenge. To add to our winners in the first two events, Dominique Daws wins the title in the balance beam. Dominique Moceanu earns a victory in the floor exercise with the routine we just saw. That gives her enough points to win the all-around championship, heading off China's Meng Fei. In the team contest, the United States is victorious, a very important win over Belarus and the People's Republic of China. Now let's go down to Kathy Johnson, who's with today's all-around champion.
Well, the big winner of the day, Dominique Moceanu, and before the competition, you told us that this was a big, important meet for you. Now, having had so much success, how is this going to help you toward Atlanta?
Oh, this was really fun. I had so much fun. It was great. The audience was great, and I enjoyed myself competing. And I haven't competed in not too long, but since my injuries. But it was fun. It's great. I loved it. It was helpful too for my next competitions. So.
And did you see something that was kind of a surprise here?
Yeah.
What did you say?
I saw my parents. They came and surprised me. It was oh gosh. I was like, wait a second, who is this?
You want a hug?
Dimitri and Camelia Moceanu able to come up from Houston, Texas to surprise their daughter and watch her win the all-around and lead her team to the title. Bart Connor and Kathy Johnson join me, John Neighbor, in saying thanks for watching. So long from Fairfax, Virginia.